Good evening, and welcome to this week's London by Gaslight, a late Victorian age vampire the Masquerade Chronicles set in 1892. Awakening for the night in a city of London. I didn't have enough coffee this morning. Is Alistair from the Clan of the Moon, betrayed by Tina. Please do a rouse check to waken from your torpor slumber. Wonderful. Eveline, the daughter of Cacophony, betrayed by Miss Harts. Please do a rouse check to waken from your torpor slumber. Gain a hunger. Aldrich of the Clan of Kings, portrayed by Bully from Tablegoth. Please do a rouse check to waken from your torpor state. Gain a hunger. Thurston of the Nosferatu, portrayed by Nitro Typat. Please do a rouse check to waken from your torpor slumber. Hey, something incarnate. Excellent. Sir Drake Burton from the Clan of the Beast, portrayed by Mark from the Boulette Club. Please do a rouse check to waken from your torpor state. Wonderful. Inspector Grey from the Clan of the Hunt, portrayed by Noscavian. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber.
I clicked it.
Every week with you, isn't it? Every week for you.
What'd you do to roll 20?
Hold on, let me close Twitch.
You know why? Because he looks like we just picked him up off the street.
That was his recent OnlyFans photography set, actually.
Like, I kind of am going to envision that this is what his character looks like in game today. Like, he just woke up.
Don't gain a hunger, you're good. I rolled for you.
Okay.
The Coterie. Minus Alistair and Inspector Grey, of course. Every week with these set. Right. Awaken in the Whitechapel Haven cellar, though something already seems different. Instead of exposed and uneven stones on the floor, it is lined with rosewood floor planks, perfectly set. The wind and sounds of the neighbourhood itself no longer leak in between the cracks of the wall. Instead, perfect silence lays in the air like a thick fog. The broken wooden simple staircase that leads down into the cellar is now entirely fixed, with a thin red carpet that runs down the centre. The hidden painting is now behind a glass cabinet, with a thick curtain that runs along the outside, obscuring it from plain view.
Your obedience has been rewarded.
These are much more proper accommodations.
I'd prefer to think of it as a mutual partnership as opposed to obedience, but whatever floats your boat.
Is this real this time, though?
Oh, good point.
Yes.
Well, how about you hold out a finger and I'll cut it off. And if you don't wake up, then it's real.
Considering this whole dreaming as a kindred thing both doesn't make sense and is new to me, I don't want to test and see if that's how it works.
Where's your sense of adventure?
If you like, we can cut one of your fingers off. She pulls out the scissors.
You make a point. In any case, I think you might be right. Usually when we have the strange dreams, it's more foreboding.
True.
Oh. He doesn't appear as talkative as he usually is.
Can you hear me? All right, finally. I'll perhaps now we can actually invite friends over. The place looks like it's nice enough. Do you think we could do that without you destroying them?
Why did you do this to me?
Ah. I
I don't
mean,
know if I would trust bringing any patrons over.
Those who trespass against me shall be punished.
Exactly trespassing.
I had some mates over the other day. I have not seen them since, so he has a very loose interpretation of trespassing, yes.
this
For every
upgrade suddenly
sacrifice
makes sense.
in my name, I grow in strength and power.
So that's a no. Don't bring anyone over that you want to stay alone.
I mean, present company excluded. I don't really like people anyway, so indifferent.
Such a warm aura about you. That surprises me.
Oh. Well, I've got you to do the talking for me nowadays. I don't see the point.
True. And I have you to do the cutting. Speaking of which, have we gotten any further with our murderer investigation?
You had some friends reach out to me with some information that might prove interesting, perhaps discussion when everyone's present, so I don't have to repeat myself. Would be preferable.
Very well. We'll go to Elysium then.
Let's.
The coterie walk up the newly rebuilt stairs, running their hands along the solid polished oak balustrade, the sound of their footsteps absorbed by the regal carpet that runs along the stairs like a river. As they enter into the hall, they find the walls painted with thick, perfect white paint. Union flags hang from the walls, and along the tops of the tall walls gold paint lines them in upmarket flourishes. As they proceed further into the hallway, they can see the front door has been reinforced with iron bolts, and the polished thick oak double doors are fastened shut. The stairs at the back of the hallway wind all the way up to the second floor, and an obsidian balustrade runs along the side of the lavishly wide stairs. A large heraldry banner of a bull's skull is hanging over a corner of the staircase.
The skull really sort of ties the room together, does it not?
Seems on brand, yes. The bull motif, though. It's so powerful, even the demon pays his respects to him.
Would anyone like to accompany me upstairs?
Right.
Yes, let us investigate.
Why not?
The coterie head up the stairs and find themselves at the end of a hallway. A door straight on their left is marked with a nameplate, Aldrich. Each door along the hallway has its own nameplate, one for each of the group.
Not this again.
We have either found our rooms, or there is something terrible waiting behind each door, uniquely suited to ruin our lives. I'll check first. I'll open the Aldrich door.
The door opens silently to Aldrich's room. Are you going in alone?
Yes.
A large bay window rests looking over the city, allowing him a good view onto the street below. A tricolour flag hangs from a wall opposite a large four-poster bed complete with drawable black curtains that will, combined with the thick drapes, stop all sunlight. A large empty bookcase with a bookstand in front of it sits against the back wall, and a large Persian rug with a scene depicting Cain's banishment from the Garden of Eden completes the decoration. Out of the corner of Aldrich's fixed eye, He can see that the walls seem to phase in and out, bleeding and made of flesh.
I want to get closer to one of these walls, reach out, touch it, see if it looks like flesh or if it indeed is flesh.
While he's doing this, can I poke my head in the door to see what he's seeing?
You will only see normal, thickly painted walls, and Aldrich slowly approaching one of them, reaching out, stroking it. Under his touch, it feels like paint. However, it still flashes in and out, as if made of flesh.
So it's been repulsive not that long ago, but starting to see uses of things like this. Yeah, after taking inventory of the rest of the room, I'll exit. Unless there's anything else.
Anyone else feeling brave enough to go into a room?
Yeah, considering what I saw last time, I'm curious what's in my room this time.
Are you going in alone?
Yeah, unless somebody follows me.
Thurston.
My head
opens
in the door of his room, too.
Okay.
Not go in, just poke my head in.
I have noticed her opening the door and looking in.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I would have definitely would have seen him not necessarily startled, but yeah, very quickly just like turn, look. Wouldn't say anything. Would see you there and try not to make it seem too weird, but I'm just nod in acknowledgement and then try to act like there isn't flesh walls. If you're not reacting to flesh walls, gonna more or less gauge your reaction for a moment, and if you don't seem horrified by anything, I'll try to play it cool as well.
Did everything else in the room look the same to me as what he was seeing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Everything seems to be in shape. Acceptable. What do you think?
It's a nice room.
We should check. And gesture over. You first.
Yeah, I'll just continue into my room.
Thurston opens a door to his
Poke my head
room,
in.
revealing the scene of his new abode. There is no window in his room. Instead, works of Renaissance-style art are hung from the wall. One painting depicts Cain's meeting with Lilith, another shows a meeting with Cain and the crone, and the final painting is a depiction of the flooding of the first city. An elegant bed lies in a corner with silk sheets and a mirror, and a dresser made of ebony sits at the end of the bed. Upon the dresser is a small hand mirror that catches Thurston's attention. As he grasps it, it affords him a view so familiar to him of a woman he knows not the name of, standing on the second floor of her house, slowly painting.
Sorry, yeah, okay. I'm gonna go over and pick the hand mirror up. And just gaze into it.
You see the familiar woman painting.
Evelyn would probably see me kind of not perplexed, transfixed on the hand mirror for a little bit, but I don't know what she sees.
Probably just assume that he's appalled by his own reflection.
If Evelyn looks in the mirror, she will also see the woman painting, and probably be able to work out Thurston's voyeuristic intentions.
How
that?
close? How close is Evelyn at this point?
I'm not in the room. I've not been invited. I'm not in the room.
Okay. as soon as she asks that out loud, I'm going to carefully put the hand mirror back down, face down. Nothing, I just, it's not very often I look at myself, so it's still a little jarring.
You look very different in that mirror than you do in real life.
Oh, you could see. Oh, yeah. Indeed. And I'll just politely shuffle out of the room.
So Evelyn's like, we're the rest of us are just in the hallway, and she's like talking into the room. At that.
Yeah.
After hearing that last bit, I'm actually quite curious. Can I see? I want to know what you look like in this mirror.
And not tonight. I think that's a secret best kept. Unfortunately, only to my eyes. And now Evelyn's, apparently.
I see. So for Evelyn's eyes, but not for your friend Aldrich. I'm wounded.
Well, it was not intentional for her to see.
It's a private thing. I shouldn't have looked, but I didn't know that it would be.
Was it you before your transformation?
Something like that.
Very well. I shall not pry.
Thank you. I'm glad that you understand.
If it means anything to you, Flowers, then I couldn't care less. I've got the measure of you, and the outside is just that, the outside. I head towards my door. Having watched Evelyn pry on the previous two rooms, as I walk in, I turn. Swordsmanship is all I shall be sharing with you for the time being, my dear, and I will close the door behind me.
Say through the door. I've seen more than enough anyway.
Sure.
Drake's room is almost empty, not even a window inside. Tatami has been laid out over the floor. In a corner of the room is a simple pillow. A map of the city of London and its surrounding areas is pinned to the wall, and a large gun holder made of African blackwood lies polished and empty, ready to be filled by whatever weapons the Drake sees fit. A single painting rests on one of the walls. The title underneath it names it as the Kraken, and a single large tentacle sneaks out of the watery scene at a crooked angle. A small mirror hangs on one of the vacant walls. Drake catches a glance of it from the corner of his eye, and as he stares into it, it affords him a view of his sister, sat at a table, deep in prayer, with a hot meal before her.
I assume that's not an illusion. I have a perfectly good place of my own, and I grew up in mansions, so you're going to have to try harder if you want to impress me, but, top marks for effort, at least.
You exaggerate.
I say I've bruised your ego. My apologies. And I'll turn and leave.
Perhaps I misjudged you. Proceed on the way to oblivion.
And yeah, you guys would see the door to the room open, and I'll step back out onto the corridor.
So of course I'll step into my room. But
Evelyn's
seeing
room.
no reason to keep anything private, I don't try and lock anyway.
Evelyn's room is laid out with an obsidian four-poster bed, complete with gold-lined thick curtains to keep the sun out from her bay window. A music stand with sheet music for the Barber of Seville, Figaro's aria, rests in the centre of the room on top of the marbled section of floor directly underneath a moon window. An extremely large walk-in closet lines the wall opposite the bed, empty but eschewing an almost palpable eagerness to be filled with regal and elegant dresses.
I will go open the window before picking up the sheet music.
Gives you a rather pleasing view over the city, and you can see directly onto the street below.
And holding the sheet music, I begin to sing along.
What does that sound like?
You're gonna do that.
How is your Italian?
Served over spaghetti.
It's the
Kinky.
the blue alien from the Fifth Element. That's what she sounds like.
As I sing, I do keep one eye on the door, kind of to make sure everyone's listening.
What's everyone doing?
Hearing the singing, and because she peeked in on what my room was like, I'm gonna poke a head around the door frame.
So Drake's just leaning on the wall outside, not looking in, because he'd be a massive hypocrite if he did.
Yeah, Aldrich would just be in a hall. He would glance in, just casual curiosity, get a look around, and enjoy the song.
I think it's fair to say Eveline gives a sterling performance, and you don't need to roll for that. Even if you're not going to entertain my notion of you singing an Italian opera, but that's fine.
I don't really know Italian opera.
Have you
Oh,
ever watched
character that sings and I can't sing.
Have you ever watched a Looney Tunes cartoon where Bugs Bunny pretends to be a composer?
He tends to be a composer. I don't remember that one.
There's a
I
few.
remember him being a Viking.
That's right, the Valkyries, but Figaro's Aria is one of the more popular ones he's done in, I think, at least 3 of the Looney Tunes cartoons. If you heard it, you'd know it, and you'd be like, that one.
Still don't think I could sing along to it.
Would you like to head out and go
Who's
to
the next
Elysium?
P? Is everyone satisfied with their rooms?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I can't help think
Forget
every
this.
time this place gets a little nicer, our lives get a little shorter. But
It is a bit ironic that the 4 of us tethered to this place probably had much nicer places outside of it.
True.
Inspector's salary, I imagine, isn't that impressive, and I shudder to think about the living conditions of Alistair. Almost feel bad.
I think Alistair is
He could
still
have a room
probably
here, too.
happier where he's at. Wherever that may be.
True. Well, to Elysium then?
yes, I don't see why not.
Is there
Nod
anything we
and
should
put my
discuss? Anything we should discuss on the carriage ride to Elysium, or would you like to arrive straight in Elysium?
Got nothing.
Yeah, good.
The group arrive at the main Elysium of the city, meeting up with Alistair and Inspector Grey. Tonight, it is filled with kindred of the city, listening, watching and exchanging secrets. The coterie Shadow Dirk is sat talking with someone the coterie don't know, and Pandora sits alone, looking saddened as she nurses a chalice of vitae.
So there I was. I was just trying to find food, and I heard somebody scream. And when I turned around, this guy had this other guy against the wall, and it was just the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Were they fighting, or what were they doing against the wall like that?
I assume we
look
walk up
around.
during this.
I look around.
He just sits down and
I think he put it inside his butt.
And and where do you say this was?
Oh, like 3 blocks from where I live.
Just out on the streets?
No, it was in an alley. I don't hang out in the streets. That's dangerous.
In an alley? That's most peculiar. I suppose maybe there was some sort of transaction?
it sounds terribly improper. Let's go on.
Guess that makes sense because you could smuggle some stuff around like that. Nobody would think to look up there.
Yes. I do recall. There were many a time people would try to hide contraband in various places.
Are we done with this line of conversation? Because and he points to Evelyn.
Oh,
You're far too comfortable with this topic, and
I'm sorry. You guys, take way too long to show up anywhere. God knows what you're doing, so we had to fill our time. And to be completely honest, I was even uncomfortable just sitting here staring at the inspector. So
The inspector seemed quite delighted with the recent turn in the conversation. I saw him light up when he began talking, reminiscing about his days inspecting crevices.
you worked for customs as well, then. Well, I suppose we should move on to more pressing matters. I've had a response from, I've got people in low places, and my usual drop spot, there was a note left behind, asking us to meet outside the City of London, Tower Hamlets Cemetery. And, we're to be escorted to see Sir Reginald Moore from there. Don't know
I
if
see.
anyone. Okay.
I see. That does sound like quite the promising lead you have there.
Well, as promising as it is life-threatening, I don't like the idea of just walking into something with no idea of what we will face.
Better a cemetery than a carnival.
Hmm.
Meeting with this individual and his movement to make sure we're all on the same page. What are our intentions in this? Originally, this was a plan to get to the bottom of the murders, but say they're not connected to the murders, which I'm having my doubts they are, but you never know. Then what do we do with this information? How far in are we willing to get with the movement?
I think this may be the deciding point. If what Reginald presents to us begins to turn in the favor of the leads we've already been pursuing, then by all means. But if it's going to be more populist nonsense, then you could just make a polite escape.
Do wonder, is anyone here actually sympathetic to their cause?
Well,
Good.
The cause itself is less concerning. It's a trivial mortal matter. My concern is that whether intended or not, this cause has affiliated themselves with some Russian thugs or Russian criminals. While I think it is clear their doings are not related to the string of murders we've been tracking, it's undoubtedly that they have committed murders and crimes. Whether or not the rest of this group is involved in such dastardly deeds, these group of Russians certainly are.
So you wish to involve yourself in this, to confront the Russians.
At some point, not necessarily within the coming nights, but at some point, sooner rather than later, I think it would be good for them to find the justice they've so far evaded. Regardless of that, this Reginald Moore individual seems as though he holds a powerful position in kindred society. He could be a potential ally, even if we don't believe in his cause.
That is what
I
I'm
really
saying.
doubt he believes in his cause.
We need to tread carefully moving forward. We are going to be betraying either him and his allies or the Camarilla. And making sure that we all wish to fall on the correct side. And if you're intending to dismantle his associates, one way or another, you're going to find yourself an enemy of Mr. Moore. And if we're all comfortable becoming an enemy of Mr. Moore, after, of course, extracting what information we can, then that is good to know moving forward. He is in a high position, and I very much would enjoy using that leverage. Not to threaten him, because I do not think we necessarily have the power to do so, but to inform those who do have the power to do something about it.
I trust your judgment.
I would say if Vagabond were to put a dagger or knife to my throat, as it were, I would certainly prefer to side with the Camarilla over this other group.
I have to agree with the inspector.
But
I wonder. Go ahead.
If all else fails, we can just invite him over for dinner at the new place. You know, it's point. Like, you don't tell him that we hate him, but if we decide, hey, screw you, guy, he didn't have to know until he needs to.
Good. I wonder if it is in our best interest to let it be known now before we embark. Let someone know our intentions. Perhaps, Thurston, you can talk to your Primogen, let them know we're following this lead, and that another Primogen may be involved in this. So if at any point we are caught at the wrong time with the wrong people, it will simply look like we're trying to backpedal our way out of it.
That sounds
Think
like
you can send a
good
message?
Yeah, probably wouldn't be telling him anything he doesn't already know, but
That's why I think it'd be
letting
a good option as well.
Yeah.
He'll likely
Honesty
believe
is the
us and
best
already know
policy.
what's happening.
Yes, Alistair, I agree.
Send the message with a bouquet of white roses.
Wait, what's the white mean?
Peace.
What's the white mean?
I
Peace.
think I'm going to forebode the flowers for the time being.
Fortress.
Piece of what? What's the white means a piece of what?
A piece of your soul.
Yes, I think that does sound like a wise course of action. Both the hospitality of a dinner opportunity, as well as informing a high member of society of our covert objectives. At least then we could have some backing when it seems like we have turned a coat. It can be revealed that we have not.
Indeed.
And the Nosferatu are the least likely to leak this information and let us walk into a trap.
No, very true. Speaking of information, Thurston, it's been in the back of my mind, but that Vitae you lent me the other night, what vintage was that of?
But that would be me revealing my secret stash, would it not? It is a special vitae that I like to keep the source under my own lock and key, if you catch my drift.
Surely we are friends, Thurston.
Friends, yes, but Kindred do love their vitae, and when you find a special source, you don't like to give it away for free.
Yeah, but friends don't keep secret from friends.
It depends
agree.
on the secret.
Alistair, you've not tried this vitae. It is of a miraculous vintage. The flavor and complexity was quite astounding. Truly, whomever is the source for this vitae, it must be a prized individual indeed.
So that's good to know. So so Thurston knew he had some good vitae and decided not to share it with us. And then you tasted it and realized it was so good and decided not to share it with us. So yes, you both are assholes.
To Thurston, I whisper, have opium in it?
Not that I know of.
Not interested.
Is it something for a special occasion? Why did you give some to the inspector?
Well, I've yet to see him at his hungriest, and he was beginning to act not quite like himself, and I would rather give him the little bit of vitae I had on me than the little bit that I have in me.
Oh,
that was quite generous, Thurston.
Yeah, it's the you're not you when you're hungry friendship. I got it.
Yes, I fear he had to break into his private stash to prevent me from succumbing to my beast, which I'm most grateful for. But Alistair does bring up a point. Perhaps you should collect some of your stash and then share it with all of us.
Sounds like you should be
what?
thanking him for
that's
giving
what I'm
you
thinking.
some of his stash. Not asking for more, Inspector. Don't have to be greedy.
That is quite impolite.
I'm agreeing with those people. I'm like, yeah.
You're right. I'm terribly sorry, Thurston. I do not mean to be impolite. I am most gracious for you sharing the private stash of vitae with me. It's just a shame that as Alistair pointed out, no one else got to experience such a vintage.
Well, if I happen to find myself in excess at some point in the future, which I hope isn't likely, I will be sure to consider sharing again.
Ah, very well. Thank you, Thurston. You're a most gracious gentleman.
You can save it to perhaps celebrate our next triumph.
That
Indeed.
sounds like a wonderful idea.
Never deal to your friends and never become friends with your Daylove. Fine.
All right, well, Thurston, if you can get word to your Primogen, is there a rat you can whisper to or something, and we can be off?
Rat could carry
Right.
arrows.
Yes, as soon as we leave Elysium, I will set off one of my little furry friends to give word.
Okay, is there anything else we need?
So, no.
I'm not going to ask if anyone needs to feed, because we can do that elsewhere. All right.
Dangerous to do here.
Heading out?
Guess we will.
Yeah.
Yes, I would like to swing by somewhere to get my fix. Evelyn can get her fix too. While
If
Thurston
yeah,
For there.
Anything you should talk about on the
I-
carriage
conveys the
ride?
message.
I don't think rats are useful, but I don't think that they can convey the entire message that we want to tell. So I guess while they're off getting food, I'll probably
Going through
take
the drive-thru.
sewers. Yeah, I'm probably gonna fork off from them just to stop by the Primogen to tell him, and then I'll meet back up with them wherever we're stopping.
Fine, fork off,
And-
Thurston.
Fork off.
Right.
I don't have to. I don't have to actually meet with the Primogen. I could
No,
even
yeah,
just
you do.
tell them. Okay, cool. Because I totally remember everything I'm supposed to tell.
But Eveline and Aldrich head to one of his holdings in the city. Would you like to bring Inspector Grey, Alistair, and Sir Drake with you, or leave them in the car?
It's up to them.
It's up to them.
I'm
Yeah.
quite sated at the moment. It would be gluttonous for me to attend.
Alistair didn't
That's
even think about it.
okay.
He killed somebody inside your place before. Unless you invite him, he ain't going in.
That is a good point.
It's okay to indulge in life's pleasures.
Is that an invitation? Oh.
No.
No, it's to the inspector.
Drake will stay in the carriage as well. Yeah.
We'll go in, get some people with some opium in them, do our thing.
Okay. Would you like to do your feeding roll, please? Aldrich first. That's fine. You may stake 2 hunger and add 1 die to any category of pool you so wish. What's your preferred tainted vitae of
Opium.
choice?
Opium.
Okay. Would you like success at
We could
cost?
share.
Oh, that doesn't sound... No, I'll re-roll.
Okay.
That page.
That's perfect, yeah. So you may also slake 2 hunger and add 1 die to any one category of pool. You're not a high functioning
No, mine's a
addict.
flaw.
Oh, yours a flaw.
Mine's a flaw.
Very well. Very well then. Eveline and Aldrich, having slaked their hunger, exit out of his holding and meet back with Alistair and Sir Drake and Inspector Grey in the carriage. Thurston has walked off.
Well, I feel much better. Can wait here for Thurston, I suppose. Is he delivering the message?
I believe so.
he
We
did.
could.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Mr.
I guess
Drake.
we'll wait here for him.
Sir Drake.
Thurston, having been given the location of where to meet with the Nosferatu Primogen, heads off as quickly as he can, using his in-depth knowledge of the city of London and the layout of the street to his advantage to make it there in extra fast time. He has already been given and granted access due to his affinity for helping humanity. He heads into an abandoned building and meets up with Fagin. Yes, small little rat.
Greetings, Primogen. I wanted to stop by and deliver some information from my coterie that I thought would be best purveyed in person.
Then please, inform me of this information you have so easily obtained.
We are planning on meeting with a few Russians at the Tower Hamlet Cemetery. And we wanted to let you know, as my coterie has finally come to the understanding that the Nosferatu are the best to deal with information. And we wanted to make sure that there were no misunderstandings, that our actions there tonight would be against the Camarilla.
Why do you seek out these Russians? For what purpose? Who are these Russians? Be more specific. There is an entire area of London filled with immigrants from Russia.
These specific ones we think might be tied to a string of murders that we've been investigating recently.
Is that it?
And
is there more?
The only name I remember off the top of my head that I think we got was, I don't think I would have remembered any of the names Inspector gave out, but I do remember Paul Bedwell.
Paul Bedwell is a member of the Bruja. Is it Russians you're meeting? Are you sure?
Well, they are followers of the... What?
More!
Okay. They are followers of the current Russian mindset of communism.
More, as in Reginald Moore.
Oh, thank you. Reginald Moore.
You seek an
I
audience with the
understand.
Bruja Primogen.
Yes, it seems important that one of our coterie members talks to him.
I wish for you to relay all information he gives to you back to me. Reginald
Of
Moore
course.
is something of an anomaly.
Yes, we've noticed that they seem to do things quite differently. But I'm excited to learn more about them tonight.
You tread on
We
thin
just-
ice. Be careful. He has revolutionary, insane notions.
Indeed, that's why I wanted to stop by here tonight to tell you. Because we kind of know that we are treading on this thin ice, and wanted to make sure there was no miscommunication on where we stand at the end of the night.
As long as you do not act against the Camarilla, overtly or covertly, then I shall put you under my wing, including your coterie, and vouch for you. Though, of course, arguing with the prince is very much an uphill battle once he settles his mind on an action.
I can imagine. Well, I will probably either see you later tonight or tomorrow with forthcoming information.
Excellent work, Thurston. I believe Clara wishes a brief word with you as you exit.
Very well.
Indulge her.
I try.
Thurston leaves the building and meets up with Clara, who is waiting just outside on the street, well away from the dull gaslight provided.
Clara, you wish to see me?
Yes, Thurston, I am pleased to see your education is advancing.
I try a little each day.
You do so well. It is a testament to my skill as a teacher.
It is.
I need you to be very careful if you're going to see Sir Reginald. If you're going to see Reginald. It's not a sir, I'm sorry.
Yes, the Primogen already informed me of such warnings.
And what the Primogen did not reveal to you is the fact that there is a sect within the Camarilla, one that does not follow the traditions in such a studious manner as the rest of us. Their notions are dangerous. Should you be associated with that side, it will mean death.
Is there... I mean, I assume that they will make themselves apparent to us at some point through our investigation, but do you have any other way of identifying them so I can see
They wish
to avoid?
to usurp the rigid hierarchy of the Camarilla. They believe
Well, we
that
can't...
all are equal, and vampires of age should not be in charge simply because of age, which is obviously heretical to us of the Camarilla.
Ah, I believe we have witnessed these people in action already, and I agree with you that we could not let that thinking stand.
You should be careful. Fagin, although a Primogen, his words are very weak against Mithras. The prince would have no
Yes.
second thoughts about terminating each and every single one of you as an example.
Yes, I have seen that's somewhat how the Nosferatu are treated in this city. I didn't think any less would go towards our Primogen.
You're learning. This pleases me.
Well, I will make sure to inform my coterie that we are treading on thin ice, and to watch where we step.
Good lad. Be careful out there tonight, Thurston.
I will. Go back to the sewers and meet up with the coterie.
Walking off again. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thurston meets up with the coterie and enters into their carriage.
Well, we might have to be a little bit more careful tonight than we first planned.
We weren't planning to be careful?
Well, more careful.
How do you mean?
The group that we are about to meet with is, as you can probably guess, very looked down upon by our higher-ups, and if we even somewhat show an alliance to them, it could spell bad for us.
Were you able to warn your primogen and tell him of our intentions?
Yes, he understands our intentions, but he can only argue on our behalf for so much.
It's good to go. Good to know. So it was successful then?
Yes, he's very interested in what we find out tonight, as we all are.
Very good work then, Thurston.
Thank you.
Question to the storyteller. Particularly in England, Mark knows where quite a strong contingent of like communism came from, and subsequently over to London. Sir Drake's relatively well travelled, probably compared to the rest of the country. Would Sir Drake know?
Yes.
I'll put it to
Most
you
definitely.
in the chat. Where
Oh, you don't need to educate me about the history of communism. I studied that shit for some reason.
I'm thinking one in particular now. I just messaged it to him, so I don't want to tip my hat too much.
Yes, that's fine. Just be a bit careful with how you approach that subject.
Yeah, no, of course. Of course. Oh, it's interesting how the Camarilla likes to think kind politics and the machinations of those that walk in the day don't affect us, but this whole endeavour is proving quite the opposite.
Indeed. From the Camarilla's standpoint, the thing they worry about the most is the idea of dismantling the hierarchy that they have worked so hard to put into place, which I can understand. That's why they do not want ideals like these to propagate any farther than they already have.
Wait, I have a question. If all this matters so damn much, why'd they let it get this bad?
Arrogance, I would assume.
Why do we have to fix it?
There's no
We don't.
fixing.
I don't think. No one's told us to fix it yet. I hope they don't.
Indeed.
Just be careful we don't face men.
Ooh, if they get mad at us, I can make them forget why they got mad. So don't be afraid to make them mad.
Subtle may be the way here, right? We don't face men, be they kind or kindred, it's ideology. That's far more dangerous.
Well, seems we're as prepared as we can be then. Sorry.
Oh, no, quite right. I feel like our position being relatively low in the societal hierarchy of the Camarilla puts us, I suppose, as tempting prospects for this organization, or not of much suspicion, due to the fact that aligning ourselves could potentially offer us more than being cowed under the current hierarchy. At least that is how they may see it.
Our best
This
bet
is true.
here is our best bet here is to stick to the more moral part of the equation. Politics and ideology is murky. We don't know who has sympathies with who, but no one can argue with us investigating anything that might expose the Camarilla or do harm to others. I think that's pretty cut and dry.
And if we can, I guess keep the conversation, or try to steer the conversation towards the Russians. The more we get into the politics and ideology, the worse off it may be, the more complicated it will be. We don't need to do anything with that. We just need to figure out who and where the Russians are, correct? And if they're involved in this murder or perhaps something else that the inspector needs to take care of.
Indeed. Our concern isn't our local countrymen, it's the Russians.
So there we go. Let's keep that in mind and not try to get dragged into anything too precarious.
Good idea.
The coach arrives outside the address written upon the paper that Sir Drake found behind a false brick. As they exit the carriage, a man on the front door to the building opens it for the coterie to enter. The man closes it behind them and joins them in the hallway halfway upstairs. He merely says, "Proceed on your way. The door to the office is open, and you are expected."
I'll go first.
Everyone following Sir Drake?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know you love this background noise. The coterie make their way up the stairs of the fairly affluent house. Upon reaching the landing, they can see the open door that leads into a wooden office filled with books. As they enter in, a man dressed in a tweed suit wearing a necktie stands as the coterie enter, and he extends his hand. "Good evening, kindred. I am Reginald Moore, 8th generation Brujar, child of Donnell, and Primogen, the Brujar of the City of London. Please, take a seat."
Go sit down.
I would say.
I'll give it a little curtsy before I sit.
Alistair, Thurston?
I bow, sit down.
Yeah, I'll give like a polite bow to the head and then I'll sit down.
By the way, my bow is like a shitty crossover from a polite just head nod and what the Japanese do to be polite. Like it's a real bad crossover. It's half-assed.
Alistair
Paint a picture.
leans forward like Quasimodo
Yeah.
and takes a seat in front of the Primogen. Would any of you care for a cup of tea before we proceed? Or something stronger.
Both?
Oh, tea is lovely. I would love some.
I have some rather nice French brandy, if that interests you.
You put the brandy in the tea?
You want a French tea?
Sure. Will it make me
Tea
talk
would be
French though?
lovely,
I don't know. I don't know French.
He proceeds to make a cup of tea for each of Alistair and Thurston, pouring
I
some
look
very
over
nice
at
cognac
I said yes to the tea too.
and Eveline.
I look over at just somebody random, Eveline, I guess, and I'm like, this teaches me to speak French. Serena will be so happy.
Great. Actually, you not say speaking French. You can talk to Aldrich. It'd be perfect.
Oh, I talk to him enough.
He hands each of you a very nice tea and saucer's worth of tea. I even have sugar if you so desire.
It would be lovely, thank you.
I assume they're little cubes with a thing.
Yeah, but you got to remember as well, these are really rough-looking cubes, so some of them are like half a cube. They're
So unless somebody tells me to stop, I just keep putting cubes in it. I assume somebody reaches over and puts their hand on mine, like, enough.
I would end up stopping him before he made an embarrassment of us all.
And those of you wondering, yes, this is a very important moment. This is a tea ritual in England.
And I'm destroying it.
Yeah, he's putting him in. I'd stop. That's enough.
Okay.
I take 2 cubes and
Stomping
put
on
them
their
daintily
flag.
in my cup.
At this point, Reginald's just sort of sat there.
Technically, I
By
have
the
an
way-
excuse.
I do not drink my tea. I just hold it properly.
Yeah, just like Reginald, I'm sitting there watching them, just sipping from mine. Not
I
even
drink mine
bothering.
and make a face, but then like put it back down and act like I hopefully nobody saw it. I'll just keep drinking it silently.
So you
I
requested
assure
this
you,
meeting,
what?
and it was granted.
Yes.
What do you want?
Yes, thank you for your time, sir. We were hoping to get in contact with a troubleshooter of sorts, a Tarasol.
Gavril.
Yes, indeed.
He is an interesting one. He provides amusement to me, and could at some point prove to be a useful tool. What interest is he of yours?
Well, we've run into some problems as late, and I'm not sure if Gavel's necessarily the man we need, but he certainly has friends who I believe could help us.
What an interesting way to evade a question.
Um, we need some dirty work done, Your Grace.
You need dirty work done, and Gavril is the solution to this?
I don't know if Gavel is necessarily the solution, but I believe he has some contacts that could help us.
Some contacts. A newly arrived Russian immigrant with contacts in the city of London. Go on.
I believe his Russian allies could assist us in our needs.
Your needs for what? We are slowly but surely scraping away the layers of information, and I'm sure at some point we shall actually get to the point of why you're here, wasting my time.
I'm terribly sorry if you feel like this is a waste of your time.
Mr. Moore.
Just
And
Reginald.
Reginald, then. As one of your clan, I would assume you have scruples about those you deal with. Most of the bourgeois I've ever met certainly hold themselves to somewhat of a moral standard.
The moral standard of my clan within the city is a constant thorn in my side, to be quite frank. I am the one that must keep balance between a Ventrue-run city and the needs and wants of the bourgeois. It is a very arduous task, I assure you.
It is a task we would like to assist you with.
Now you have my attention. How do you believe you can assist?
We'll get to the point. Ed, the Russians that you work with, you use them for grunt work, I assume?
Sometimes they provide amusement, and sometimes dock workers, unions need persuasion.
And may I be so bold as to ask, are they of our social club or are they kind?
They are all kind.
I would like to propose replacing them.
Go on.
You said it yourself. Being a liaison between the Bruja and the Ventrue, quite a task. Something may be better served by a Bruja and a Ventrue. I myself am from the Clan of Kings, but I have not necessarily been treated in a kingly manner. My inspector friend here, we have issue with the Russians. We will be frank. But we do not want to remove an asset of yours without replacing it with something better. And I offer myself.
And of what generation are you?
That I do not know, to be honest.
A Ventrue without knowledge of his lineage. How rare.
Exactement. As you can see, I'm not a typical Ventrue.
So, it would be fair to say that you are something of a social pariah among the Ventrue of the city.
I was, but I know how to play the games they Ventrue play. It's in my blood after all. I am making headway, but I make headway using the common folk rather than high birth.
Using the common folk, as you describe them, is hardly going to give me much of an advantage. What is it precisely you need Gabriel for? Why do you need him removed?
I'll look to the inspector.
Gavril, per se, isn't necessarily a paramount issue. If he is of input to you, that's something we can work with. It's an individual whom Gavril works with is the main person I'm concerned with. Are you familiar with a Mr. Pauline or Pauline?
I have awareness of his existence. He is the leader of Gavril and his associates' gang, though we only make use of Gavril himself.
I've been contacted regarding this leader, Mr. Pauline, and he has been causing quite a stir amongst the Kine law enforcement, and they've begun to look into this group and his associates, and I feel as though this type of group works better in the dark and not under the scrutiny of Kine and those of us who utilize the Kine law enforcement.
Now,
I feel like
you have my attention. This is obviously a clear risk to the Masquerade. However, losing a favorite pet of mine that is very amusing would be something of a wound to myself. I would be willing to give up Gavril to you in exchange for a boon.
I'm going to look around the room. What furniture is there?
Basically what you would see in the picture.
Point around. Which one of these do you like the least?
I find
So the
growing
various bits of furniture.
attachment to material goods is hardly worthwhile.
I'll look at the shoddiest thing that I think he'll miss the least, and draw my blade in one go and just cut it in half. Look over to him. Can your Gavril do that?
No,
Then
but
consider
he
me
can
the
also be on
replacement.
the docks during the day when the workers are there. Can you?
The means in which we contacted you could be at your disposal also. They can be there. In fact, they are the docks.
No offense, Jew, but allow me to talk frankly. You are.
No, his name's Sir Drake, sir, not Franklin. But yes, you should allow him to talk.
You're a charm.
Clan of the Moon.
Keep that one close.
Eveline will pick one more sugar cube up and put it Alistair's cup.
With all due respect, you are extremely young. You are very, as they say, fresh off the boat. Your enforcement, although appreciated, and your offer, I believe, sincere, it's not much use to me. I wish to maintain at least my current social strata and standing, which is why I would gladly accept a boon rather than enforcement. Finding willing mortals is no issue among the dock workers, especially in this city. There's always someone waiting to be fed. We feed them, and in exchange they offer us our fists.
Do you need a boon from the group or from one of us individually?
I believe a boon from the group would be sufficient. Mortals are replaceable. It wouldn't be a particularly major boon.
Do we all have to do it, or can one of us just complete it? Tell you
That
we all
really
did it?
depends on what I ask of you. But I like
Thank God,
having
because I'm
favors
already doing
owed
so
to me.
much.
If you would give us a moment, we are of the people, so we all get a say in what we do as a coterie.
Of course, I can appreciate democracy in all its forms. It is something that is not really given these nights. I shall even allow you some privacy in my office.
Much
And he
appreciated.
slowly steps out and closes the door behind him.
There's no way this is private.
Well, regardless, I don't think it's a terrible thing to offer a boon as payment. Although I worry, I would hate for the boon required to cause us to act in open and direct opposition of the Camarilla, as that would, quite frankly, execute us.
It's
Yeah,
the beauty
but
of a
what-
boon.
Go ahead.
We'll have to know what it is before we can do it. I
Also,
think this works out better than him having us just work for him, because that could be damning. This, something that is in our pocket, and if we do not act on it, we cannot get in trouble for it.
Yeah, and if it's against the Camarilla, we can just tell somebody if they can help us figure out how to bypass it.
Well,
I don't think this office is private.
Yeah, I would loudly say after that, we have no reason to want to bypass a boon from one such as him, but I think we're all in agreement that we will enthusiastically agree to help the cause in exchange for access to the Russians. Then yes,
He's
yes,
not. He's not stupid. He knows what would put us in a difficult position. And it's entirely at his own whim that he does so, if he chooses to do so.
also a very
With
good
that-
point.
yes,
With
sure.
that in mind, go on.
No, please go ahead.
With that in mind, I say we just accept the deal for now. We don't have to play any cards close to the chest here because I think everything's out on the table.
Yes, I feel
Well,
like
Not that table. She points to the
feel
one he
like-
sliced through.
the boon and furthering the cause is a lesser issue than that's quite well and good. But my only concern would be if hypothetically the boon was to act in direct opposition of some high figure that would undoubtedly get us caught immediately. That is something I'd have an issue.
Like Sir Drake said, he has operated and survived for this long. I think he knows how to maneuver without getting the wrath of the Camarilla.
Indeed, surely he would find it more advantageous for us to help his cause without sacrificing ourselves and be useful tools in the future.
So we're in agreement. I will go fetch him then.
Indeed.
Get up to go where he went.
You will see him standing out on the landing, just looking down.
While he's outside the room, I'm going to take some of the tea in my cup. I'm assuming Alistair's drank some of his and pour some of my tea into Alistair's cup.
Oh, you tainted it. Now there's not enough sugar. Let's go put more sugar into it.
Sugar cube is out of the tea because there's so much sugar in it. I stop him.
Mr. Aldrich, I have
We,
you
of
come to a
course,
decision?
graciously yes, we graciously accept. Now, if we can
Excellent.
discuss the terms of getting access to your Russian contacts. I'll go back into the room with the rest of the coterie.
Before he comes back in, I'll be
Gavril-
like, can anybody speak Russian? Like, no, Aldrich can speak French, but we're screwed.
Gavril enjoys watching street
When you
fights.
speak English.
Most nights you'll find him in one of the poorer areas where they regularly hold such brutal contests. I believe the Hamlet Hammers are quite fond of holding such contests. You may wish to grab one of their number and extract information. You appear to have one of the hidden in your number, so extracting that information should be easy enough, I'm sure. I shall of course put word out that Gavril is no longer under our protection. Gavril, of course, will be none the wiser to this, so you should have the upper hand of surprise in your meeting with him. He's not a particularly popular fellow either.
Very well. This information, I think, will suffice, yes? I'll look towards Drake and the inspector.
Indeed,
Say so.
This is most
Perfect.
most helpful.
Well, I thank you very much for your time and this enjoyable meeting, Sir Moore.
And you, it is always refreshing to see democracy in any form among our kind.
This is the beginning. More to come.
Good night to you all. And he stands as you all leave.
I sit my cup down and then I run back and finish it real quick and then leave.
You're a treasure,
I would
sir.
give a
Thank you. Don't tell anybody where I'm at, though. They'll want to cut me open. And I run out.
I would
I
give a
curtsy
polite nod.
politely before leaving.
Out of character, would this be a minor or major boon or one of the other boons?
This will be a minor boon.
Minor boon? Okay.
Someone makes use of their character sheet fully. You can have an XP point for that.
Wait, what?
I didn't know you could track that.
The coterie head out onto one of the streets of the city. As they do so, a man approaches Sir Drake. He seems to be of middle class and makes firm eye contact with him as he talks. Captain Adder sent me. He said you seek change. The change can be found tonight in Limehouse, here, and hands him a folded piece of paper with an address on it.
Take it and wait for the chap to leave before opening the paper.
He tips his hat to Eveline and turns and walks off into the street.
It was his business.
I'm assuming it's not that late in the evening. Would these fights theoretically still be going on, or would this have to be a different night?
They could still well be going on.
And are we good to head straight there, or is there something we need to do before to prepare?
I'm gonna take a look at the paper, quick.
The address is for a place in Limehouse. The thing that catches your attention most of all is the drawing of a bull on the background of the paper.
Well, show it to everyone else. That I Oh, I mean, I don't like to brag, but it looks like I'm moving up in the world. They want me to go join their secret club.
Oh, that was good.
We have time, so pocket the paper. I'd rather see to these murders and these Russians first, shall we?
Very well.
So the plan is to. This is a low-level person. This is not who your ultimate target is. Correct, Inspector?
Indeed, you are most correct. We need to get information from this individual.
What is the name of the actual person we're looking for again? His boss?
Rishto Palnen. Palni?
Yeah, it's something like that. I have it here, yeah. I'll type it in chat.
Do we want to just go and play it by ear? See if we can find him and then see if we can get him to tell us where his boss is. Seems like he's the type who we might need to use a heavy hand for. I feel like we were well equipped for something like that.
Can't we just make him tell us, though? I'm so tired of beating everybody up.
The concern I have, and you bring up a valid point, Mr. Alistair. The concern I have is much like the last individual. I worry that Gavril himself may not be high enough up to give us the information we seek. He may be yet another stepping stone.
Yeah, but my point is, Aldrich's over here making Thurston do whatever he wants. Can't just make this guy do whatever we want?
Unfortunately, that is not how that power works. I can make people do things, but I cannot make people reveal things. Trust me, I have tried.
Be our friend?
No. I have enough friends. Evelyn might be able to do that, though. Maybe she can use let you catch more flies with honey or sugar cubes in your case.
I heard it when the
rough
mouth
Russian
makes
man.
sense, but I can try singing to him.
This might be a good approach. I believe Evelyn's if she's willing to lower herself to entertaining a man as gruff as this Russian, I'm sure you can get him to tell us all sorts of things.
The other thing, too, is if, random guy gets beat up, somebody's going to see he's probably beat up and gets... So if we can avoid that, it's like, it's like sneaking around in a house and not trying to break anything. Once you start breaking stuff, people know you were there.
Well, we have permission to eliminate them, so...
Sure, I guess my point was... Yeah.
If we are slow, then yes, a trail of bodies could make someone suspicious. But that could be good too. They get suspicious and they seek us out. Does our job for us.
That's fine.
But yes, let's see if Evelyn can't charm him first.
Fine.
You've already got to chop one thing in half. Hopefully that'll tide you over for a little bit.
And
back.
Of course, if Evelyn's charms do not persuade him, I'm certain Sir Drake's charms can.
You should
And Sir
name
Drake?
fists.
Sir
I'll tell you
Drake,
what, I'll let you do that.
what, name your fists? I don't think that's a good idea. Sir
Charm
Drake,
and
if
persuasion.
he lays a single hand on me, you do what you must.
I'll call this one
Nice.
Cain. I'll call this one Lilith.
Darling, you won't get as far
Right.
as laying a hand on you, so it's fine.
Do the fights then?
Let's go.
Sir Drake knows the area in the region of the docks-ish, where the Hamlet Hammers hang out.
Surprise, surprise, Sir Drake knows where the fights are. Yeah. That's what he does in his spare time.
But he never, ever talks about it. And at this point, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
You'd say Sir Drake knows where it is, or just the docks in general?
Just the docks in general. You're familiar with the motives of the Hamlet Hammers being basically communists themselves.
Yeah, well, I'd imagine they move around from night to night.
But they've got their own little area around.
Yeah. Oh, they're usually around here somewhere hitting each other for money. Yeah.
It'd be that hard to find a street fight.
Wait, do we have to act like we're interested in it? Quick, hit me.
Form an orderly
Do
queue.
what the man says!
Buddy took me up on that? No.
Apparently not.
Look around. And...
So say, look around for a shady little kid. Trying to be
I'm
discreet.
gonna look around for
Kid.
biggest dock worker I can find.
Right. No problem. You'll find Large Larry.
Evening, friend.
It's your friend.
Oh,
Don't even fucking know you.
no one an approach like that. Look, you're a big lad. You look like you. You look like you would know where to find somewhere you could pick up some coin.
You looking for a
displaying
rent boy?
your, You look like you know your way around a boxing ring. Shall I put it that way?
Maybe. What do you want to know?
Well, I'm not unfamiliar with the fine art of pugilism myself. Anywhere around here we can partake of such for income gain.
Fuck you on about? Plugalism? What?
Punching people in the face for money.
Why did you fucking say that in the first place?
Forgive me for overestimating your worldliness. Shan't do so again. Do you know where it is?
Yeah. But it ain't easy to get into.
You let me worry about that. Just point us in the right direction, and I'll just get out some notes, handful of notes. This is yours.
There's a warehouse. Just down the docks a little bit. It's completely innocuous. World traveller me. You just go in, and you'll find it's crowded. If you want to fight, you just talk to one of the organisers in there. You tell them Large Larry sent you.
Well, thank you, Larry, and innocuous, more than 4 letters. Congratulations. And I put the wad of bills into his hand as I shake it, and head towards the warehouse he mentioned.
Okay. Everyone following him?
Mm-hmm.
I real awkwardly pass. I'm with him.
You ain't gonna last long.
I'm not fighting.
Oh,
I run in
go
real
in there.
quick.
The coterie make their way along the docks, past various dock workers and ships, finding into the warehouse, finding it crowded full of various peoples from the lower echelons of street life. They can hear already the sounds of fights and grunts and cheers coming from a crowd eagerly watching as 2 men pummel the living shit out of each other behind barbed wire. I haven't got a scene for this, so you're just going to have to make do.
How uncouth. How barbarian. How big and sweaty.
Are we actually in?
Oh,
We've
are
been
we
let
in?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I was not ready for that.
Jesus Christ, yeah, you're getting an XP point for that. 1 XP for giving me a semi.
Was it 2 for a full?
I hand
These
reaches
days
up
it is,
around
yeah.
you, and I'm snapping in front of you. I look back at Thurston. Do I have to do it to her too?
I think so,
Fine.
yes.
I cast Cloud Memory on Eveline.
Oh no.
Right in front of me. It's
I
not like it's
know.
going to help anything.
That's exactly the
Yeah,
point.
cast it. Cast it.
Show me cloud memory, please.
Why do you think I agreed and told him to do it?
I gotta have my moment today.
Okay, so charisma dominate. Eveline wits resolve.
I'm not. I don't care too much for this, so I'm just gonna do it.
I always think it's a rouse check for cloud memory, but it's not.
No, it's not.
That's why he fires it off.
Holy
Oh,
shit!
I won. What a to lose.
I mean, I'm not.
No.
You can burn a willpower point and re-roll if you want.
No, I'm not doing that.
Eveline's not forgetting that. That's firmly in the wank bank. All right.
That
I'll be in my new room.
damn it.
If you hear any singing, just ignore it.
She's more mentally strong than you are, Thurston.
That's surprising.
Quite the intense, adrenaline-fueled fighting, isn't it?
Apparently, Eveline seems to think so.
Is that kind of fighting?
If I'd have known you'd enjoyed fighting this much, my dear, I'd have given you more instruction.
This is different.
You tell yourself that. Do we know what our quarry looks like?
Only have a name.
Is there... Assume there's some sort of, at least like a makeshift, like a bar or something like that. Somewhere where people are gathering to buy a drink. Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a bar off to the side, which basically consists of a couple of breeze blocks or something with a plank of wood over it, drinks behind them, and people sitting on barrels.
Or go Paul sort of Aldrich, just slightly off to the side. If I distract the good lady, you might want to switch on your. I'll sort of give him the nod. Go speak to them at the bar. Find out where our quarry may be.
We understand he's involved, and I was just going to find where the bets are being made, flash some money, and that's. We were told his involvement with these. Was it? Is he an actual fighter? Or is
He likes watching.
Oh, he likes watching.
Oh,
He might
Same
be a
with the
high
fights.
roller.
In my experience, people get more guarded around their money betting. People not so guarded when they're drinking. You might be able to get whereabouts of our quarry from them more easily than you would perhaps people minding their coins.
very well. To the bar then.
In the interest of our Rose, I shall make sure the lady is preoccupied. Lady, come! I'll show you the. I'll escort her over to the. Attempt to escort Evelyn over to the ring. Continue your instruction in the fine arts of martial combat.
Seems like a good opportunity to learn. And I'll follow for it.
All right.
Aldrich will approach the bar. I don't think he wants to actually be him here, though, because that could have other repercussions depending on how things go. I guess a different angle he might take, though. So yeah, he'll approach the bar and just hey, hello, is there a I would like a your finest brandy, please, and I have some money I would like to spend on the fights over there. I was supposed to. Is there a what was this out of game? It was a Gavril.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Told there's a man by Gavril that I can talk to about this. Yes.
Let's at least give you a chance. Charisma and persuasion, please.
He is terrible at that.
Really?
I'm a great liar. I'm not good at actually being nice and persuasive.
Oh,
Why I play him as an asshole all the time.
The barman looks at you without saying a word, throws a dirty glass at you, and pours whiskey into it. Look, you fancy top off. This ain't the sort of place that you're gonna get that sort of shit from.
Don't know who you're calling a fancy tart. I'm certainly tougher than anyone in this establishment.
Oh, Lord.
How do you do a bar fight in VTM? Shit.
Brawl.
You know what? Put me in that little your little circle there, and I can prove it.
He just looks at you like, do you have some sort of death wish, mate?
It sounds like you're scared. Noted.
He looks at you, raising an eyebrow. Where did the fucking child come from?
Victorian England, children are everywhere.
Shim was one of the fighters.
I'll tell you what then. Let's see if your fists are half as big as your mouth. We'll put you in the ring. It should be quite funny.
Oh, you're serious. I mean, yes, sure. I'm happy to do so. I will need a list of all the rules, of course. I'm assuming this will be a gentleman's scrap. And then if this happens, Gavril, you know Gavril.
There ain't no gentleman in here apart from you. And if you do well enough, Gavril might find you.
I'll be right back. Her tooth just fell out. I'll be right back.
Don't worry, something similar is about to happen in game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, very well. That sounds agreeable to me. I'll take it and I'll I'll sip it and spit it back out and set it down. That was not good.
I don't see why it would be. It's horse piss.
Okay. Yes, a list of the rules, and then point me in the direction of where I should be fighting.
The rules are simple. You walk in with whatever you walk in with. But you don't need to worry about walking out.
Let me care. Oh, okay. That sounds good. Good enough for me.
I want to do
anyone-
something before this happens. Yes.
Annoying.
Yeah.
I want to do something too. Yeah.
All right. Whoa. Alistair, what are you doing?
Mark is going to blurt out loud. What the hell? I'm going to run up to Sir Drake and be like, I got it. Okay. I know the name of your fists.
Okay.
Rock, paper.
And I'll do that. This would be scissors.
No. She has... I point to Eveline.
At this point, can we see Aldrich?
Nobody is not paying attention to any of this.
Yeah.
Um,
We see Aldrich
good,
walking towards the fight thing, and I'm like, oh shit. Where is the person that? Because I've probably got a better idea of how this all generally works. Where is the person that organises the fight? Presumably, Aldrich walking towards that person.
Right next to the chicken coop cage.
Yeah. Walk up to him. Point to Aldrich. The fop isn't getting in the ring, is he?
Yeah, he was mouthing off at the bartender, so be a lark.
I'll take that one.
You betting on him?
No.
You betting against him? All right.
No. I'll
Who are
step
you
in
betting
with
on
him.
then?
Oh.
I missed what you said. Sorry.
I said I'll step in there with him.
That could be interesting. Yeah, all right then. We'll put out something special then.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
I'm watching the fight intently, and I ask the person next to me, point to one.
What are you asking the person next to you?
Who's that guy? Pointing to the fighter.
It's Dave.
One of the fighters.
It's Big Dead Dave.
And who's that guy?
Small Simon.
He ain't very small, is he?
That's the joke.
Get it. I get it. Pardon me, where's my manners? Thank you, sir. And what's your name? I was hoping you'd say Gabriel.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be that fucking easy.
Try.
Go on. Sorry.
Gavin. I left a friend of
Watch
mine in
someone.
America. I think he's still looking for me.
So do you come here often?
There ain't much else to do, is there?
This is my first time.
I can tell.
I mean, it is a bit barbaric, isn't it?
I mean, man's got to let off steam. There ain't much else to fucking
you
do in
know-
London.
You know the rest of the people here? I point to the crowd.
I know everyone here.
Actually, the reason I'm here, she says, still like talking but watching. I'm
looking for my friend Gabriel. Have you seen him?
Gabriel? Do for me. Yeah, charisma and persuasion, please.
If she finds out, we end up punching shit out of each other anyway. Oh, God.
Oh, really?
He's around. He's hard to pin down, that one. He likes to move around, look at fights from different angles, place bets.
Oh, is there a better place to watch?
There's loads of... I'll tell you what, you stick with me, love. And I'll make sure you get the best view in the house.
Oh, where are you going?
We have a little private room. Can't believe I'm doing this.
Do it.
And the man will lead you, sort of away from the crowd, into a small room that has no windows whatsoever as you enter inside. You notice him close the door behind him and lock it.
This isn't a better view at all.
It's a better view for me. And we're going to do a fade to black on there because that's pushing it on the TOS, I think. I think we've implied enough about
Oh,
what's
well,
going
I
on
was
there.
just about to scream.
I knew that's what you were going to do.
Just fade on him, yeah.
Dance the drums?
Yeah.
Okay, roll dance
I think
the drums
that's
for me,
the
please.
that's the one, right? No, it's Death of the Drum.
Roll death. Do a rouse check for me. Gain a hunger.
Blow his head off.
And do death of the drum for me, please. I think it's fair to say he doesn't get any chance of expecting that from you. So Eveline screams in a very particular high pitch that can't be heard by the human ear, but simply sends out a sonic boom, ejecting him out of the room, through the door, as he
A
lands...
locked door.
A locked door. He lands with blood seeping from his ears, and no one even bothering to turn and look at the now corpse that is just strewn as a smear on the floor. Eveline walks out and brushes the dust and splinters off her shoulders.
You don't touch a lady. And I go
So,
find a better spot to watch.
As Aldrich is walking away from the bar, I think I would have liked Gray to be approaching the bar, not really going up to it, but kind of listening to their conversation, and then he's going to get up to the bartender and speak to him. My good man, that individual there says he's going to fight. Where can I bet against him?
You go down to the ring, and there's a man there who ain't got no problem flashing his cash, and he's the one who's saying, taking all bets.
Roger, can I get a,
No, his name's not Roger.
can I get a whiskey to go?
What is it with everyone ordering particular drinks tonight?
Whatever you've got. If it's not whiskey, as long as it's hard.
He grabs a glass, looks slightly smeared, and pours some kind of orange liquid into it. We call it
Thank
the
you,
Elf
sir.
Special.
I'll give him, I'll kind of give him a cheers, and then I'll walk off and I'll take a sip of it.
You ain't paid.
That's me forgetting. So I will pay for the drink.
Okay. Thurston. What are you doing, Thirsty?
I'm kind of sneakily making my way around the crowd, just listening to different conversations as I pass by, trying to see if I notice anybody talking about Gabriel.
Do wits and awareness for me, please.
Okie doke.
Perfect. As Thurston works his way through the crowd, he starts latching on to the name Gabriel, eventually working his way through the crowd and finding the Russian target of their quarry. As he does so, however, Sir Drake and Aldrich enter into the ring. But prior to that, Alistair, just outside of the ring, is talking to a man with a fistful of notes.
Somebody told me a big fight was about to happen. They said it was like a bear gonna fight a prissy man. I want to bet on the bear.
Bet on whoever you want, mate.
Okay. What's the least I could bet?
A penny.
Here's a penny. I give him the penny.
Last of the big spenders.
And then I take my ticket and run up to the inspector and say, hey, there's a big fight about to happen. I bought a ticket.
Yes, I was going to go bet myself. And I'll lean in. It's like, the prissy man everyone's talking about is Aldrich. I'm putting my money on him. I don't know who the other fellow is.
Oh crap.
Don't worry, I'm going to bet big. I'm sure I can cover us both.
Thurston,
no,
you're
it's
working
fine.
your way through the crowd still, so you're far away from them at this point.
Gotcha.
I bet a penny on bear.
I'd chuckle. I think you'll be fine. We can afford to lose that. And I'll head over to the I guess bookie.
Yeah.
And yes, I'd like to place a bet. I'm thinking I'll go for the against the odds. I want to bet on that prissy man everyone's talking about.
You're going to bet on the toff? We half expected him to come in here and ask for the wine list.
I'd laugh and be like, yeah, it makes no sense. But if he's willing to get in the ring, I feel like he has something up his sleeve.
Cash up front. How much? I mean, do you want to bet a significant amount?
You know what? Sure. How about I'll bet a data resources?
I was just going to say £5.
Oh, okay. Sure. 5. I'll do £5 then.
Okay.
I mean,
Data
back
resources
then,
is a
that
lot more
about
than that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, it's probably too much to bet on a fight. Yeah.
I mean,
I'll do a
if
£5
if you
bet
want to
then.
bet a dot of resources, I will let you bet a dot of resources. If that's what you want to do. Why am I doing this?
Like
You're betting
at
on a
this
dice
moment,
roll.
you look over, and Aldrich's taking his wig off, asking who's going to hold his wig during the fight.
Sure. I'll bet a data resources.
All right.
So he's taking like his jacket and he takes his waistcoat and then his undershirt off, like muscle and tattoo. Turns around.
Has Drake officially like stepped in now towards obvious that Drake's? Yeah, I'll give it a look, and I'll go up to. Assuming this is pre-fight, just sort of walk up, get a little close. I was doing this to.
Your opponent hasn't arrived yet, by the way, just so you're clear. You're still standing in the ring, just you and Sir Drake.
I thought we were
Oh, I thought
fighting
you were
each other.
fighting each other.
You're
That was
fighting
what-
each
that was what my
other.
intention was.
Oh, that's even
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the way that this is going to go.
Yeah, that's what Drake.
Oh.
That's what Drake was trying to
Yes,
do. He wanted to fight
yes.
against. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
fighting each other.
But
Oh,
my
yeah.
character
Oh, well,
doesn't
that
know
fucks.
that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, go for it. This will be
Yeah, I
great.
wonder where Shiv is
Or
going.
the fight
I'm-
starts. I would like to ask another random member of the crowd, what's going on? What's next?
This is
I
the
don't know.
joke
I
for the
thought something
bear and the
completely
pussy
different
man.
was going on. I thought they were going to bring Big Mama Straw Bale out, but it turns out that these two complete strangers, one of them's a right fucking nonce, is going to fight this other guy. It's going to be great.
Do you know anyone
Now
here
you-
that would know them?
Now you get the bet better, huh? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Step close enough to Aldrich so that nobody else can hear.
Yeah, I'll just look. This kind of fucks up the whole thing I had going on, but I feel like you just want to do this for fun, don't you?
We'll get the chance to throw down properly some other time. I'm eliminating any chance. Make it look good. I'll go down on the 5th hit. I'm assuming
Dated
they'll
girls
15
like
for
that.
you after.
Well, that's boring, isn't it?
Well,
You'll go down when I say you go down, and I'm gonna back up in the corner a little bit and go back to my foppish persona. So whoever is holding the wig, I need to make sure you're certified and you have the right equipment. Or is there a mannequin I can place it on or something? And just being a general ass.
Alistair will pull up all of a sudden. You need help?
Yes.
And I say
Yes,
to a
do.
random
Thank you, young
stranger,
man.
That's a wig?
I take the wig and hold it for a little bit, but after a while, I'm like, why am I holding it? And I just put it on my head.
I knew that was, yeah.
I wish you had one of those so you could put it
I
on your head
know.
right now.
So Drake will turn around with his arms out, channeling the 1 point in charisma that I have, and kind of address the crowd. This fop here thinks he can walk in like he owns the place. What do we say to people like that? I'm hoping for a crowd reaction of some kind.
Do you want to roll for it? Or
I
you just want a
start to
reaction?
boo.
This is how I know you watch wrestling.
Oh yeah.
The crowd begins
completely
to
up to you.
jeer. Do charisma and performance for me, please.
Oh,
You
dear.
can probably hear my voice over the crowd. Cheering along.
That's a single dice.
I point over to Thurston and I'm like, pointing at the wig on my head, like,
I think
I
I'm
just
I'm
kinda-
getting what you're putting down here, Sir Drake. Would you like success at cost?
Yeah, go on.
This is where I realise I forgot. The crowd begin to jeer and boo, throwing bits of broken glass that smash into the chicken coop, with shattered remnants of shards of glass making their way onto the floor. As you do so, the beast inside of you begins to scream. You return to an animalistic state. Sir Drake regresses to a point where speech is hard, clothes are uncomfortable, and arguments are best settled with teeth and claws. For the remainder of the scene, you gain a 3 dice penalty to all rolls involving manipulation and intelligence, and can only speak in 1-word sentences during this time.
Retreat back into the corner, and I'm assuming it's you mentioned like barbed wire around the top, and I'm assuming it's like wood and fencing.
Yeah.
My mind's on the prize fight scene from the first Sherlock movie is kind of what I'm
Really?
picturing. It,
I'm
kind of thing.
picturing this wrestler called Gangrel for some reason.
Only the entrance was as cool. They're retreating the corner, and like he's shirtless, but he's left. He always wears like a battered top hat, and that's the last thing he takes off. Just drops it over the edge like that.
When I see Sir Drake into the ring against Sir Aldrich, I'm going to be squeezing my note a little bit, and I'm going to look down, and I'm going to look over to Alistair. I'm just going to be like, Christ. Oh, shit. If I would have known Sir Drake was going to be fighting Aldrich, I would not have bet so much on Aldrich. It's like, I think you had the right idea, Alistair. I'm going to be a little irritated and distraught at the moment.
Wait.
As Inspector
What?
Grey... Oh, sorry. As Inspector Grey has also bet 1 dot on resources, would anyone else care to bet?
I'll lay
I
the
would.
bet.
I'm I can't talk. I'm not going to do an entire dot in resources, but I'm going to bet a sizable chunk also on Aldrich.
You can either bet a dot in resources or nothing at all.
I only have a dot in resources, so why not?
And
I'm about to throw this fight, so you all become destitute. Might happen either way.
so who are you betting on, Thurston?
I'm betting on Aldrich because of the fact that I know things about him that everybody else doesn't at this point.
Okay. This could be a good fight. Please go on.
Yeah, this.
I'm in the corner. I kind of rat myself out. Just walk.
All right.
Kind of.
I saw he addressed the crowd, so I'll look to the crowd. And what do we say to those who are ungentlemanly?
And for the first time since you have ever entered this warehouse, it suddenly goes completely silent.
Except for Eveline going,
At least.
There a pin
All right.
drop.
All right. Seem to be teaching everyone a lesson this evening. And this is nothing else. Go at it. No, I want to do the what's that ridiculous? The Henry Cavill where he somehow cocks his arms. You know what I'm talking about? What movie was that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mission Impossible, yeah.
yeah. He cocks his arms like guns. That's what Aldrich does.
Okay.
So Drake just like crooks his neck.
Then he gets in like a proper boxing stance.
I ask a random member of the crowd, what happens if he kills him?
Well, it'll be more exciting than this fucking build-up, I can tell you.
It's called hype.
The
Yeah,
moment-
the silence. You hear me go?
Thurston!
Yeah, the moment
here!
Aldrich put his fist up. So Drake will cross the few feet between them and just go straight for a headbutt.
Okay. Strength and brawl. Aldrich, how are you responding?
See him go in. I'm going to try to grapple. I'm going to try to catch his head right before it collides with mine. The fist out and then just grab it.
Okay, strength and brawl. You have a specialization in grapple. So you get a +1.
I'm going to do... They're going to be identical dice rolls. It's just going to depend how good we roll.
That.
Oi, oi, oi.
Aldrich reaches out with his hands. Unfortunately, Sir Drake is far too powerful to be grasped in such a way. and his head makes contact with Aldrich's face, doing 2 points of superficial. Do I have it when it's PvP? Yeah. Yeah, let's drag it out. Doing 2 points of superficial damage to Aldrich. Although Aldrich has
I'll
just been
need
given
the
a reroll.
Oh.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, let's do it.
I'm keeping an eye on everyone giving him a reroll. You're on my shit list. Continue. Yeah.
Just under this.
Still
time.
doesn't. Yeah.
So that's 1 superficial damage.
I'm appreciating Ender's reference there in the chat. Thank you very much.
Aldrich.
He'll let out like a bit of a squeal as he gets hit and really play up the fact that he took that hit. Probably breaking the top of his nose a little bit. He'll give a wink to Sir Drake though. It's like that was actually a good one. And then probably do a similar thing. Wait for an attack and then try to counter with a grapple.
Strength and Brawl.
I'd like to start.
Sorry, Eveline?
Like to start leading the crowd in a chant of Drake, 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 Drake.
All right.
So,
and the crowd,
seeing
the crowd in the immediate vicinity of Eveline are saying Drake, but as the chant spreads around, the word Jake becomes far more dominant. So Drake, how are you responding?
I'd rather everyone not know who it was. Yeah, seeing him recoil from the headbutt, I waste no time closing the gap and just point of the elbow right in the between the ribs, solar plexus.
Strength and Brawl, please.
Balls.
Aldrich, this time successful in his attempt to grasp and firmly restrain Sir Drake, is able to grab his arm as it is outstretched and successfully holds him, restraining him. Sir Drake, it is your turn. As you are currently being grappled, you can attempt to remove the grapple with a Strength and Brawl contest against Aldrich.
I will do so, as I also have grappling as a specialty.
That certainly applies. Strength and Brawl versus Aldrich's Strength and Brawl.
Yeah, now that I have him grappled, with this grapple, I want to attempt to do damage. Just twist the arm in the way it's not supposed to twist.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Another beast. Strength and Brawl, sorry, Aldrich, yep.
Oh. Ooh, both.
Oh my god.
Technically, it's only a beast for the loser of the roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Are you sticking with it, Sir Drake?
Yeah.
Okay.
And before you actually try to feed on him in front of everybody.
Aldrich feels Sir Drake struggling against his grasp. Thankfully, he's able to overpower him and pull upon his arm, nearly snapping it off, which enrages Sir Drake, pulling at the beast inside of him once more. Sir Drake performs all actions not immediately resulting in someone or something getting harmed at a 2 dice penalty to his pool. This compulsion will end when he incapacitates, destroys, or successfully drives away a target.
Oh god.
You are suffering from the harm compulsion as well as your clan compulsion. And I believe that now goes to Aldrich to lead.
Would you take damage from that?
He did, yes, sorry, my mistake. 1 superficial damage to Sir Drake.
Okay.
Sorry, I was wrapped up in the moment.
Yeah, if he's controlling his arm, twisting it, he's gonna just again keep trying to just wrench it, but also force him to the ground. I kind of slam him while still getting better control of the arm.
Okay, strength and brawl. Don't forget you have +1 modifier also for your speciality. So Drake, what you can do is really try and struggle against it. So strength and brawl with a +1 speciality, but you won't be doing any damage to him.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh.
Question: would this be a minus to his modifier because he's not actually causing harm?
Combat though.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just asked.
Yeah.
That's
Although I
mean,
love
you
the
know.
way you're thinking there, Alistair.
True storyteller.
I'm living through Xavier right now. Talk about.
Oh man.
Sticking with it, Jake?
Yeah, it's fine.
No one wants to give him a re-roll in chat, really? You're going for the hoity-toity toff? Oh,
It's going back and forth. It's though.
God, they're supporting the heel, not the face. Makes sense. Aldrich successfully pushes Sir Drake down onto the floor. Sir Drake's face makes contact with the hard concrete floor, doing 1 superficial point of damage as he is forced to the ground.
If I'm using the good hand, which I intend to, that's what I'm cranking the arm with, it would be a +2.
Oh, really?
But you still half it as normal, so it would be
so that's 2
it would be
superficial.
2.
You can call that the mandible.
Sure.
Yeah, and then at this point, just going for a submission, I guess, and just keep twisting the arm.
So Drake, what you can really do is struggle to free yourself from this grapple.
Yeah.
I'll lead the crowd into a cheer of "Kill the fop."
What is that going to get changed to by the time it makes it over?
The crowd begin chanting "Kill the fop" in the immediate vicinity of Eveline. Unfortunately, as it spreads around, it turns more into "Bill the toff."
Bill and Jake.
Where's the mop?
Makes sense. Mop up the ring afterwards.
Where's the mop? Where's the mop?
Where's the mop?
So Drake, are you sticking with it, or would you like a reroll?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to re-roll any of these. That's fine.
Okay. And is this with the claw?
Yes.
Excellent.
And then after, so I'd do 2 more superficial. At this point, just to keep the fight entertaining, it's gonna
2 superficial
adjust his good hand to the back of Drake's head, trying to control the arm a little bit, but he wants to just see if he can start slamming the head into the ground.
Strength and brawl for me, please. And Drake, strength and brawl as well.
Same as well. Cool. All right.
I think at this point. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I say I'm looking over at Thurston and holding the wig up, going.
Go ahead. Dice roll.
I think by now he's completely he's just so in the moment. He's probably really dropped the fop persona, and it's just like old gang leader Aldrich. Probably his whole demeanor's different, and there's a bit of brutality to it as he's sort of caught up in this for a second.
Aldrich taking the back of Sir Drake's skull, repeatedly pounding it into the concrete floor as more and more blood begins to seep out from the wounds upon his face. The crowd's chants of Bill the Toff fill his ears, and Sir Drake takes 3 superficial damage. Sir Drake.
Okay. I'm trying to picture where we are now, physically speaking,
Probably in the middle of the ring.
position-wise. You know what I mean. All right.
You're probably laying on the
Face
ground.
down, ass up.
I'll try and roll through and take control of the arm that's controlling mine, I suppose. Because that would be the counter in this predicament.
Would you prefer dexterity or strength, Ambrel?
Strength and brawl, definitely, yeah.
Strength and brawl. And Aldrich strength and brawl as he attempts to wiggle out. I'm actually going to give that to Sir Drake. As it was his turn, and he successfully rolls out of the hold, finally freeing himself from Aldrich's iron grip. He gets to his feet, just barely, with blood still dripping from various points on his face, and stares down at Aldrich. It'll be Aldrich's next
I
combat.
think him breaking away would be just
Grinning
enough
like a
moment
madman.
for him to, remember like, oh yeah. But yeah, he's also gritting. There's clearly having fun, being able to let loose a little bit. He'll go back up to his boxing stance.
Drake's abandoned all technique at this point, and he's just going to run in and just try for a 2-footed drop kick to the chest.
Yes.
Okay. Aldrich, how are you? I mean, it's Aldrich's combat move, really.
Yeah, so I like the idea of him running and doing a jumping drop kick, and I'll just try to take his hammer fist and just punch him out of the air.
Strength and brawl versus strength
Oh.
and brawl, please. Sir Drake glides through the air, extending his legs out. Aldrich attempts to punch him straight out of the air, bringing him down. Unfortunately, Aldrich is unable to be fast enough, as Sir Drake makes contact with Aldrich's chest and does 1 superficial damage to him.
Does he knock him to the ground?
Not for 1 damage, no.
No. Yeah, as Drake's back hits the ground, he does like the Shawn Michaels kip up.
Yes.
Admit it,
and
this is
then
what you've
see him
lived for in your TTRPG experience.
Yeah, this is.
And then offer the momentum into a Superman punch.
What the fuck's a Superman punch?
Flying.
You just I do it in the UFC.
Oh.
Yeah. Roman Reigns.
The Action Comics #1 pose. Got it. Very different kind of nerd here. Strength and brawl versus. What are you going to do, Aldrich?
I like the
I don't
juxtaposition of him doing this super cool get up, and Aldrich, I think, probably did stumble back or hit the ground a little bit, and he just does a very sort of a grunt and slowly on his feet. And he's gonna try the same thing. If he keeps going airborne, if he's going for Superman punch, I'm gonna try to just fucking catch him in the air right before me.
Strength and brawl, then, please. I think that should count as a grapple, so have a +1.
Oh.
Oh.
It's smacked.
So Drake flies through the air as some sort of action comic hero. Aldrich attempts to do some sort of reptile-based jumping punch in order to block him. Unfortunately, his Shoryuken is unable to be fast enough, and Sir Drake fist makes contact with him firmly onto the chest. He takes 1 superficial damage. And from the damage, he can also feel the beast inside of him screaming. Hearing the chants of Jake, Jake, Jake suddenly changing through the room. Aldrich performs all actions not immediately resulting in someone or something getting harmed at a 2 dice penalty to his pool. This compulsion will end when he incapacitates, destroys, or drives away a target.
Well, someone's going to end without a compulsion.
Yeah.
I think if the beast is in control now, that the fop is completely gone. Him getting punched, I see him getting thrown to the cage. Oh, now we're having some fucking fun. Using his real voice on accident, and engaging again.
Eveline hears that.
Makes an awareness for me, please, Eveline.
No.
Oh.
Eveline does not hear that.
Oh.
Unless you'd like to
You
set
got
a
lucky.
cost.
Well, I mean, does not hearing something give me the beast?
That's what the roll says.
No, I don't think I'd want success at cost because I'm already paying a pretty big cost.
Excellent. Let me look up your clan bane because I've just had a really cool idea.
Music in my head? Or is that the compulsion? I never remember.
As the one that used to, and sometimes.
No, you were.
Sorry.
I just had it.
No, you didn't. Go back to Chronicle. It's right there.
Clan compulsion.
You said Bane.
I meant compulsion.
Oh, that's
Eveline gets the feeling of Aldrich saying something that was extremely important, attempting to tune out the song that plays in her head and the general noise in her immediate area. Unfortunately, she's unable to focus on it, and as she does so, the beast inside of her screams. The Ride of the Valkyries plays stronger and stronger in her head. The overwhelming compulsion to sing this song as loudly as she can completely enraptures her. She'll be looking for any chance she can to perform and sing Ride of the Valkyries as loud as she can. I say sing, but you know what I mean. Any action that is not towards this. She suffers
Fight
a
music
2 dice penalty. But also in cues, I don't know. She has a +1 modifier to any performance rolls.
I see no reason why I wouldn't just immediately start singing this in the crowd, trying to get other people to sing along with me. Adding lyrics in here and there. Like, kill the fop, kill the fop.
It would actually be awesome in a wrestling match if everyone started screaming.
The crowd to go. It's not just me singing. I'm trying to get the crowd singing with me. That's what I've been doing this whole time.
Well, they do when Daniel Bryan comes out. That's his entrance music. So, yeah.
This is the best unscripted moment in any game ever.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here watching. I'm having a great time.
I initiated the last turn, so if you want to do this one, Billy.
With this, I think he's going to go for a classic that he probably does a lot in the streets, with just sort of a feint with a punch, and he really just goes in and goes for the throat to just grab and squeeze and choke people out. So he's going to try to get this good hand across his throat.
Strength, brawl, +1 modifier for your speciality. So Drake, how are you responding to this?
The hand that's coming for the throat, grapple the arm The hand that's coming through the throat, grapple the arm and judo throw over.
Yes.
That sounds like a brawl. That's definitely a brawl if you're using judo. So strength brawl +1. I had a real moment in my head when I was saying that. That sounds like Judaism. No, judo, not Judaism. Okay,
To be fair,
the
Israeli Defense Force is scary as fuck.
fucking yes. Grub the car is no fucking laughing matter.
No joke.
Okay, I'm not handing out any more fucking compulsions. Sir Drake
I mean, at this point,
grasps Aldrich's outstretched arm, throwing him over his shoulder, slamming him into the ground as hard as he can. As Aldrich makes contact upon the ground, he slams into some of the broken glass upon the floor, causing a huge laceration under his back, and increases his hunger by 1 due to blood loss, and takes 1 superficial damage. By the way, if anyone else that's not currently fighting has anything else they want to do, you just let me know.
Yeah, just chime in.
hype man.
I bet I'm watching until the end.
People's livelihoods are riding on this.
Mm.
Yeah, kind of literally.
Aldrich, it is your combat
I'm still
time.
leading the crowd in Ride of the Valkyrie.
And you better believe that is successful. Right.
What was it? Sorry.
It is your. I think it's yes. Is it your combat turn or is it Sir Drake's? I think it's. Oh, it's Sir Drake's combat
I believe
turn.
it's Drake's.
He's down on the floor. I will roll through and try and put him in an armbar.
Strength brawl +1 for your speciality. Aldrich, how are you responding?
As he pulls his arm, he's going to try to use that momentum to roll over and sort of get the mount and just put his hand over Sir Drake's face. So almost give him the arm he's going for the bar, but then roll over and just latch on like a face hugger with his other hand.
Strength brawl, speciality +1. Love how you're both desperately trying to come up with ways to use these brawls. Okay.
That's how we fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to go to Aldrich, obviously. 1 superficial damage to Sir Drake.
It would be 2.
Ah, yes, because the claw.
If it's 2, then I'm down.
Okay. That puts you into
He's
radiant damage.
Not,
So what we'll do...
not Scabian. Don't hide it. When I said if it's 2, then I'm down, Scabian was like, yay!
In fact, Gray.
Oh, you
is
got to
going
reroll.
Oh shit! Yeah, you got to reroll.
Alright.
Ooh.
So put the 2 superficial damage back to your tracker.
Jeez.
I'm not giving out any more fucking beasts because I am going to very quickly lose track of those.
I think it's fair to say that they're just kind of caught up in the frenzy at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Frenzy?
Yeah, I like where this is going.
Don't say that.
Did you go all the way, or did you just take it to impaired?
He wasn't in. He
it was on me.
was about to start aggravated.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna call it once I hit that too. So now instead of that happening, the reverse happens where that takes Aldrich right at impaired.
Oh, jeez.
No.
Into aggravated or?
No, I haven't taken any aggravated.
Oh, okay.
It's my last
So-
superficial box.
Okay. In that case, what we'll do then is Aldrich falls to the floor, despite the beast screaming in his head and the lust for rage and power. he decides to submit and fake unconsciousness. A man walks into the cage, taps Sir Drake on the shoulder, who eventually releases Aldrich.
Yeah, stand up.
Sir Drake is declared the winner of
Compulsion
the
fades
fight.
now.
Yep.
I turn to the inspector and I do the like the brother does in Napoleon Dynamite.
I know what you mean.
I would just
hang on. Your harm compulsion has finished, but you are still under your feral impulses gangrel compulsion.
Yeah. The guy that comes in to declare me the winner, I'll just look at him and I go, Gavril.
He'd like to talk to you, actually. He's just waiting for you outside of the cage.
It is that easy.
Yeah.
That was easy.
Well,
He's trying that.
I'll turn and...
Do I hear this?
I'm
Or
not
does
sure.
all of us hear this?
Are you unconscious, Aldrich, or how does this work? Oh, you're
No,
feigning
no.
unconsciousness. That's right.
Yeah.
Aldrich,
Yeah.
do a rouse check for me, please. Okay, gain a hunger. Aldrich's unconscious body is thrown out of the warehouse. Fortunately, he had enough foresight to be able to heal one of his superficial damage. As soon as he's thrown out,
I was
and he knows the
gonna
coast is
purposely wait until someone drags my body out and feed on that person.
Oh, smart.
clear. Oh, I like that. Well, go
Yeah,
with
that's
me on
good.
this.
Good.
As soon as he is thrown out, he regains consciousness, having had the foresight to be able to heal himself. He grasps the man who was throwing him out. And if you do your hunger roll for me, please. Yeah, I think that's going to be fine for this instance outside, and it's not ideal prey. Yeah. You extend your fangs and sink them directly into the flesh of the arm of the man who threw you out, slaking your hunger and putting him into a euphoric state as he curls up and rests against the wall. You may slake 2 hunger.
Okay. I'm gonna do another rouse check. Alright. That will make me fully healed up.
Yeah, I'll let you do that,
Wait, no,
but you
well-
will have to be out for the remainder of the scene, because it's meant to be once
No,
per
you just-
scene.
Okay.
So while all that's going on outside, inside, Sir Drake is escorted to Gavril. Thurston meets up with Alistair and Inspector Grey and is able to inform them that he has also located Gavril. Eveline is too busy singing, unless you've got something else in mind.
Yeah, I wanted to
Until then-
squeal and run down to the rink.
I'll let you do that.
Yeah, I informed them that I know where Gabriel is
Adrian, we
at,
did it.
and that I'm now broke.
I'd shake my head. Thurston, damn it all, I'm in the same boat as you. Well, I'm not broke. I still have a modest amount of money left, but when I heard Aldrich was going to fight, of course I bet a large sum of money on him. He was guaranteed to win. Until I saw Drake enter the arena. And sure enough, as I worried, Aldrich lost. Had I known what the fight was going to be, of course I would have bet my money on Sir Drake. The man's a beast.
That reminds me, I won, and I run off.
Go ahead.
In all honesty, Inspector, I I thought the fight could have gone either way, but I bet on Aldrich because of I just know that we haven't seen a lot of what he's capable of, and I wanted to give him a chance.
You're right. I got excited and I got my hopes up there for a moment. It really seemed as though, despite all odds, Aldrich was going to win. I would have been in for such a payday. But alas, fortune did not smile upon me tonight. And Alistair there, he won. And do you know how much he bet, Thurston?
How much?
A pence! A bloody pence!
I might have to ask him to help me pay for anything I might need in the future. Anyway, I don't know exactly why they both got in the ring, because while they were getting involved, I actually found Gabrielle over in the back. It was very entertaining to watch, though.
I run back over with the wig still on, and I run up to the inspector and I said, "Hey, hold your hand out."
I hold my hand out.
I dropped the 2 pence in. I said, "Thanks for loaning me the money that one time."
Haha.
Where's Aldrich? I gotta give him this back at ditch. I go find Aldrich.
Are you sure you want to do
Yeah,
that? I mean, that's not a bad warning. I'm just not making sure if that's what you want to do, because he's outside.
Oh yeah,
the scene.
yeah.
All right.
No, but you can just knock me out of the scene for a while. Let him go do his thing.
Oh yeah, I'm just checking with you as a player that that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I assume Sir Drake was already on his way over to Gabrielle, so I'll just catch up with them.
So
We
Drake.
all kind of meet up there.
Yeah, exactly. You are escorted to Gabrielle. I'm tempted to do a Russian accent, but then they're all going to sound exactly the same because I can only do one Russian accent. Very entertaining fight. You did very, very well. I smell like the fucking count.
Yeah.
Three punches. Okay, not doing that tonight. I apologize to the Count of Sesame Street and the entire country of Russia.
All I could think of when you started talking was, "Hello, my name is Gabrielle."
Oh, that would have been better.
Good, Chris. Yeah.
Count Punchula.
Sean Connery. Yeah, okay, I'll do Sean Connery's Russian accent. Yes, you did a very fine fight. If I was going to rate it anything, I'd say it was about 10-ish. I'm not going to go with that one either.
Wipe the blood off from his brow and probably the corner of his mouth and the blood off his knuckles.
Are you looking to do more fights? Because that was a hell of a fight. Very entertaining. We could make a lot of money together.
He's taking a second because hardest fight he's had in probably about 10 years.
I grab his large, muscular arm at this point. Sir Drake a lot differently now.
You're Gavril.
I'm his manager. You can talk to me.
Gee. Yeah.
A woman running a man, eh? Interesting.
I mean, it is almost the 20th century.
Very modern of you. So tell me, is he interested in more fights? Perhaps we could set him up with another fight tomorrow night.
No, sorry. He's got another engagement tomorrow night, but be in touch.
That's a shame. Well then. You earned me a lot of coin this night. Is there anything I could perhaps do for you in return?
Actually, I think there is. This is my associate, and I point to the inspector, who I'll let take it from here.
Gabriel Tarasov,
yes.
a pleasure to meet you. And you are...
Yes, Gavril, it is a pleasure to meet you too. Sadly, I made a poor choice with my bet, but congratulations, you certainly picked the better fighter. Yes, I have a business proposition for you. Is there a private place we could speak?
Glances over his shoulder at the splintered door that Eveline screamed in. Let's go out the back, shall we?
Very well.
Don't touch
That
me.
sounds good to me.
He walks with you out of a different door that Alistair and Aldrich were escorted out of. Behind the current warehouse and in between another. It is exceedingly empty and quiet. So what's this business proposition?
Well, you see, my good friend, I've got some work to do, and I was hoping to get in contact with some of your other associates as well. Do you know anyone by the name of let's see? Do you know a Smirnov by chance?
Many. It's a fairly common name in my motherland.
I see. I was hoping to have some work for Makar and Yifem. Oh, sorry, Makar and Tikhon.
Do charisma and persuasion, please.
Oof. This is why I don't talk. Let's see.
You might be alright with this guy, to be honest.
Yeah, I would have offered to help, but the inspector knows more about what information he wants than I do, so...
Hold on. Give me... Oh, there it is. It was in hiding.
Oh yeah, it's always...
Should be coming up soon. I think I'll try for a willpower roll.
Okay.
Not how I expected his name to be spelled.
Yeah.
And that's a 1 dice. Come on.
There you go.
Much better. Well, I don't know precisely their location, but I might be able to help you at least locate Alexander.
Alexander. I believe he has been mentioned to me before. Would this be the good Mr. Pushkin?
You know him. How? Yes, but how do you know him?
Oh, I do not know him directly, just a name that was mentioned to me. I'm not sure if his expertise would help, but perhaps he's certainly worth talking to.
He's got a bit of a thing for women, shall we say. He frequents around the brothels around the city. You should be able to easily track him down there. He leaves a bit of a distinctive path in his wake.
We all have our vices. Not all are as entertaining as fighting, wouldn't you say?
I prefer the rush of a good fight. It doesn't bring anything. It brings the most adrenaline, after all.
Indeed. I hope your winnings were good tonight.
Most satisfactory. Some idiot bet all of his life savings.
I would cough and sag a little bit. I would say it was not. Well, I feel sorry for the individual who wagered all his life savings. I only wagered a portion of my life savings. I thought for sure the fancy fellow had something up his sleeve.
It's always those special fights that bring him out, isn't it?
Well, if that's all there is, it was a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Gray, is it?
Yes, great. Thank you.
And he will turn and start to make his way back inside the warehouse.
Okay.
What's everyone else doing? You want to meet back at the carriage?
Yeah, I guess
I'll attempt to recover some health, if that's all right.
Yep.
I would probably go searching for Aldrich.
That's what I was about to go do too. I mean,
I
figure
did it
Alistair
before you.
Yeah, I figure Alistair's with him now, but
Quit stealing my seed.
Okay. So Drake, do a rouse check for me, please. Heal 1, gain a hunger. Alistair and Aldrich are outside the carriage on the docks on their own, awaiting the rest of the coterie to meet up with them.
Run up to Aldrich.
You can have this
You're
back.
not there yet.
Oh.
Man, you are in a hurry.
Oh, fuck. Thanks for holding on to this, Alistair. Hope you're entertained in there. It was quite a fucking fight, actually. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too. That thing's real itchy. How do you do that?
It's what drives me. It's why I'm so angry all the time.
Yeah.
Stays angry.
Hey,
How?
sorry, What?
Go on.
I bet against you. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. That means you won.
Yeah, I
So
bet
Drake's-
a penny.
Oh, yeah, good on you. Hey, wait, you in the crowd, right? What the fuck? I bet I was sort of in a battle mode, you know, but I heard something saying about a bop or a drop. Or what? I was very confused for a moment, and honestly, I think that's why I lost.
Well, Eveline, she gets real excited and sings random things. I think she started a cult.
Right, she got kind of into those fights, didn't she? That's a whole side of her that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah, the problem was I couldn't tell if she was more into you beating ass or getting your ass beat. It's really weird. Be careful.
Why not both?
That.
All right. Galvril. We any closer with that? They're working on that.
Oh yeah. Thurston said he found him. They all went off that way, and I just kind of pointed in a random direction.
Oh, well, he just found him. They found him on his own.
Well, Thurston's been working real hard with trying to figure out secrets, so maybe he learned tonight.
Oh, I I had a good time. It's fine. Interesting. It's good. We can count on Thurston for these sort of things. I've noticed he's been getting real good with the secrets and whatnot.
Yeah. He didn't seem as too into the fight as everybody else, though. Actually,
Feeling all right.
I don't know. After the fight, both he and the inspector looked real sad.
Well,
I think they felt
if
bad
they're
for
not
him.
into fights. And maybe they felt bad for me.
No,
It's kind of sweet in a way.
Yeah.
stagger out the front at that point, like fucking blood. Evelyn's either with me or isn't, depending on.
I would be. Yeah.
You would be? Okay, cool. I just look across at Aldrich and I go, oh.
Yeah, I point, I start to smile, and then I see Eveline, and then that was very, very good fight out there.
I run up to Aldrich, taking out my handkerchief. Okay, and I start dabbing his face.
Thank you. Mercy, mercy. I was quite a wallop out there. Sir Drake, you're the real deal. I am honored to be on the receiving end for a change.
Cracks his jaw back into place. Likewise, that could have gone either way. Oof.
Oh,
Right,
damn.
well, I hope all that got something. Where's the inspector?
We have a lead?
I would come out. I'd look a little sad. I'd kind
Dejected.
of shake my, yeah. That was a good fight, gents. Good fight. We have some information. I have a contact. Well, I have the location of someone who's high up in the organization that we can speak to next.
That's perfect. Why do you look so blue then? This is all the good news I am hearing.
Well, Aldrich, my good friend, when I saw you speaking to the barkeep and saying you'd step into the ring, everyone laughed at you. Of course, some fancy nobleman sort wouldn't be a fighter. I knew otherwise. I was certain you would win, and I bet a significant amount of money on you, my good friend. And I was quite shocked to see, rather than some pathetic kind stepping into the ring with you, it was our very own Sir Drake himself.
Oh,
You must imagine my surprise then, as I was also unaware Sir Drake would be stepping into the ring.
sorry about
Yeah.
that, Inspector. The initial idea was to eliminate all doubt. Plenty capable and have plenty of faith in Aldrich's abilities, but
To be fair, he went in there with the plan, and that plan would have made you a lot of money.
then our nature's got the better of us, I'm afraid.
It's
Just
understandable.
let off a little bit of steam, though.
Uh,
And can you
I
really
must-
put a price on that, Inspector?
I must say it was the most spectacular fight I've seen in quite some time, if ever. I'm just saddened I bet on the wrong horse, so to say, this time. It really seemed you had him at the end, Aldrich, but against all odds, Sir Drake came out on top.
I thought I did. And I looked into the crowd. And some man named Ender2563 inspired Sir Drake to finish me off.
Damn
No,
you, 2563!
We planned this real poorly.
And,
But it all worked
Well-
out. Maybe we should stop planning things.
The thing is, it didn't work out because we could have put you two in there, and one of you decided to throw the fight. That way, everybody won money too. If you all really wanted to fight, you could do that back at the home. I'm sure the that guy in your head would have made you a boxing ring go into.
That is boring.
Yeah, this
It
was
was a
much more
kind of
fun.
in the moment thing. And I mean, money is so easy to come by, you know?
No, I don't.
Indeed. I did bet a significant amount, but luckily I did not bet all my money. I still
Oh, yeah,
have
that
some,
would be ridiculous.
I still have some
ridiculous.
modest resources. Thurston, you were saying you weren't so lucky, and I put my arm around Thurston and I actually pat him on the shoulder a little.
Yeah, I probably would have come over and after last week's little talk that Aldrich and Thurston had, I would come over and kind of try and dust you off and get some of the broken glass off of your nice clothes.
I didn't even see that there. Please, Thurston, it is fine. So you bet on me as well. Did you bet on me before or after you knew I was facing Sir Drake?
To be completely honest, I did it after. I shouldn't have bet as much as I
Thurston,
did.
I appreciate your vote of confidence, and I will cover any financial losses you took.
I
Well,
really appreciate that.
if anybody cares, I bet before I even knew who the hell was fighting. I look over at Sir Drake.
Natural
give him a
intuition.
thumbs up.
I appreciate that. Well, we came out ahead, I suppose.
Yes, we have the information. I had a good time. A successful evening, I think.
Indeed.
Evelyn apparently picked up a new spectator sport. You seemed quite enthused in there. Unless that was all
That's
her rules.
so barbaric. I have to play along.
I think if it's like the Colosseum, you know, there were many people of a noble birth who enjoyed a spectacle such as this.
It's obviously not the place for a lady, but if we ever had to come here again, I could make that sacrifice.
Next time you can hold the wig.
And when should I
Speaking
inspect
of-
your...
Never knew there was a wig. Why wear such a wig?
I thought this was the fashion in this country when I came. And then I'd already been seen a few times with it, and it just became a thing, so I kept it. I thought most men here wore wigs.
Crap.
I know. I need one, and I mess with the little bit of hair that I have.
I know your pain.
It's a French thing, my lady. They do that over there.
See.
My
So-
understanding is it's a fashion statement by the nobility, is it not?
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Fashionable.
Yes, I don't
For
believe
some
that.
reason, I'm now from Minnesota.
Yes, I believe wigs are not affordable by a lot of common folks.
And I am anything but
Of course
common.
not. You could make a lot of money selling hair.
You
All
get
violence,
delayed hair?
apparently.
What the?
If you think about it, vampires could make a lot of money donating hair because
Yeah.
it just
That's
kind of
true.
regrows.
All right. Game over. We figured out the end game.
What do
Sounds
you
like
think
yeah.
happened to all of this?
That's our in-game shop. We make
Yeah.
wigs.
I understand that Inspector Grey has a similar service on his OnlyFans.
Ooh,
By
Thought that was
actual
bad
pieces of his beard.
yeah.
The coterie, is there anything we should discuss in the carriage ride? Because I'm plunking you somewhere. I didn't think so.
As we walked back to the carriage, I
Carriage.
try to hook arms with both Sir Drake and Aldrich.
Oh, I look over at Thirst at that point. Getting out of hand.
I'd have to agree.
Aldrich will accept as always.
Yeah, so Drake's too tired to argue, so he will as well.
The coteries' carriage makes its way through the city, eventually arriving near to the address they were given. The gas street lights provide an ambient, meagre light over the street of the poorer end of the city. As they exit their carriage, a man approaches Sir Drake. You must be the expected ones. The change you seek is but a few steps away, and you are all, of course, invited if you so wish.
Well, as long as the change I seek doesn't involve too much strenuous activity. Lead on.
Everyone following?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The man guides the coterie around the long row of houses and down a dark, wide alley. He steps outside a pair of wooden doors that cover a hole that lead into the cellar of the building. Through a long tunnel, and eventually coming out into a large underground room decorated with candles and even gas lighting. The gathered kindred feel no cold, showing the room has been insulated by someone far more affluent than expected. At the head of the room is a large marble slab, with old dried bloodstains drained down. Overlooking the slab is a cross with a naked three-eyed man nailed in place. A piece of large wood protrudes from his chest. As the coterie enter, their guide folds his hands in front of him, and a warm smile is glazed upon his face. This is our place of worship in service of our patron.
And what did he do to end up there? I point to the state fellow.
Let's just say we're not particularly accommodating to one such as him.
Well, I mean...
You said it was a three-eyed man?
Yes.
Where's the third eye?
Yes.
Is he naked?
Yes.
Like
Harry was when you discovered him.
He said three-eyed, not three-legged.
no, that's not where I was. I was being serious.
Aldrich.
Jesus.
Insight. Insight and awareness. Wits and awareness, sorry. Or wits and insight, whichever you prefer. Roll 20 being twitchy.
Is it Aldrich?
Yes. Roll 20's been a bit delayed lately this week.
Yeah. Sorry, it froze up on me. Let me. It's refreshed. What am I trying to roll again?
Wits and awareness, or wits and insight, whichever you prefer.
I'm going to rouse this as well.
Okay.
There we go.
Gain
That's
a hunger.
working.
Perfect. As Aldrich looks over the scene at the crucified body, he has a vague remembrance of Jacob and recognizes his corpse dangling over the scene. And I think that's where we'll call it in for this week.
They didn't come through Miss Arch.
You'd think with one on each arm something would, but
Well, I mean, we are all vampires.
so, on that bombshell cliffhanger, after Kindredmania,
Kindredmania 1.
oh god, don't make that a tradition.
Too late.
Aldrich, who are you and where can we find you?
I am Bully. You can find me over on our channel Table Goth on YouTube. We will be starting Cults of the Blood Gods next Thursday over on the Onyx Path channel. If you want to check us out, doing our vampire with Nosferatu and DJ Toreador. Otherwise, yeah, go to our YouTube. We got games there. We got tutorials there.
Very
Do
cool.
that. Oh, and I'm in a charity stream this Saturday with Shane Easton and Ellie Collins and the Overlord people.
Nice.
Watch that too.
Eveline, who are you and where can we find you?
I'm Ms. Hearts. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter and Instagram and all the things as Ms. Hearts. I also stream play I Want My 80s show on the Base Radio on Tuesday nights. Once the server's back up that I caught on fire with 80s music.
The fire still burns.
And then, hopefully the servers will be back up next week. And if you need any graphic design or promotional products, go to gibopromo.com.
Inspector Grey, in the top 1% of OnlyFans, where can we find you and who are you?
He needs the money now.
After that, I think you can find me here on Table of Horrors playing VTM. There you go. I'll land in the Discord.
Alistair, who are you and where can we find you?
I'm Tina. I just hang around here.
Thurston, who are you and where can we find you?
I am Nitro type at pretty much everywhere. And I think Shiv and I are doing Transformers tomorrow night here. And then I think the day after that over on my Twitch channel, I'm going to be streaming something for the first time in like 6 months. So that should be fun. I'm not saying what it is because it's just going to give Shiver ammo to throw back at me.
Last, but by no means at all least, Sir Drake, who are you and where can we find you?
Mark, the DM over at the Bullet Club. It's twitch.tv/Bullet Club. We usually run D&D over there Fridays at 10:30 UTC. It's going to be Saturday for the next 2 weeks, just because of scheduling stuff. Shiv and Nitro are both playing in that as players as well. Nitro's a Warforged Barbarian and Shiv is a Blood Hunter. Big surprise. Alright, I shall resume. Possibly doing something this Friday as well. I knew we just decided we might run something else. If not this Friday, then definitely next Friday as well as our usual game. We might do like a one shot. Possibly Delta Green, which is fun. So yeah. Other than that, WrestleMania week is coming up, and I think we're streaming basically every night, watch-alongs for stuff, as well as the usual D&D campaign.
If our WrestleMania wasn't good.
He kind of said it in there that they're switching to Saturdays. On their Twitch channel, there's a little announcement video that's a good laugh. Go watch it.
It is good announcement video.
Chris and Jody completely surprised me with that. I had no idea. It was done and they sent it to me, and I was like, yeah, that's fantastic. So.
Anyone got any suggestions for a raid?
See a couple people playing D&D. Dork Tales and Lost Tribes Gaming.
Oh,
I'm not all that familiar with either one of them.
I mean, we could raid somebody else.
I'm familiar enough with Dork Tales.
yeah, I was about to
Um,
say that they sound familiar.
And of course, we can't go until Miss Hutt says the line.
Have a good night.